Welcome back to the River City Lifestyle Podcast. And we recently talked about dining downtown. In fact, we took you to breakfast, lunch, happy hour, and dinner in downtown Memphis, and you could walk to all of them. But today we're going to go outside of the 240 loop to find some cool, maybe lesser known. These places are going to feel like a find. I think Anna. Let's go there.
Great. So I'm really excited. We had a wonderful lunch at a restaurant called Blue Honey in Germantown recently, and it's just such a great find. It's tucked away in a strip mall. Is just a wonderful small family-run restaurant by Courtney and Drew. Drew is the chef. Courtney is front of the house. It seats about 35 to 40 people, and called Blue Honey. Blue Honey is actually very deliberate. It is a special style of honey that can be found, I believe, in the Carolinas, although don't quote me on that story. But it is a rare type of honey and very special, and they decided to name the restaurant that because they believe their restaurant's very special and a rare find. Really interesting dishes, some that are there all the time, like a croque monsieur, or croque madame, pardon me, or a bread plate, which
I love how precise she always is.
Exactly. Homemade bread with butter, yes please,
yes.
To specials where Chef Drew creates really special vegetarian dishes or fresh catches. But I've been there several times. I've really enjoyed it both for dinner and lunch. What was your impression?
Well, I want you to talk a little bit about Drew, because he's had some distinction.
You're right, he has. So recently, Drew was a semi-finalist for the James Beard Award. And I think we're really lucky in Memphis to have some really talented chefs that you maybe don't know about, and he's definitely one of them. He's also one of the most down-to-earth chefs as well. He's taken me back to his kitchen just to show me where he sous vides things, and he's very proud of what he's done with the small space that they have.
We had a great lunch.
It was so good, and it was packed. Like, it is a small space, like you said, but it felt lively, and there were a lot of people in there. Drew came out and chatted with us. The wait staff was fabulous, so knowledgeable. Good wine too, which was great. Yeah.
And Courtney also creates cocktails so incredibly well. She does them based on what she's thinking and feeling. That's exactly what she would say. Well, I'm not trained in it. It's just what I think tastes good together. She always does an excellent job, so I recommend those as well.
He said this to us, so I feel like we can say this on our podcast, that they are looking at opening an additional or moving.
To a larger location in East Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will that be instead of?
I believe, but unsure. But
Okay.
that's exciting for them. I know, just to maybe have a little bit more elbow room for them.
Well, I'm glad we got it into this podcast
Right.
episode because then we couldn't have talked about it because it's not outside of the 240 loop anymore. Jeannie also had a great find that if you have not been there,
Right, and this is not
must
like
go.
that, and probably most people have been to Shelby Farms, but the restaurant there, Coastal Fish, I think is really special. We like to go as a family, and we will either walk around Patriot Lake before or after lunch or dinner, and that feels good. You've walked off your skillet cookie cake or whatever you've had, chocolate chip cookie cake. But I love the view. We've even been there on Christmas Eve. Those heaters on the patio, they work. If there's a chill in the air, you're still going to feel comfortable there. Some of the things I love to eat, they have a great variety of oysters. You can get them on the half shell. There's a little section they call dressed, and they'll have cool ingredients like lump crab meat or wagyu beef. And then they have another broiled section that's also interesting. There's like a Nola version with garlic and butter and yumminess. For dinner, my favorite is the macadamia crusted yellowfin tuna, and they have these. Have you ever had that? The vegetarian sushi roll is so good. And they'll do wine flights like their sister restaurant Flight downtown Memphis. So they do things like anything but Chardonnay or interesting reds or international versions. And I just think it's really fun and lively. I feel like we've had a lot of special times out there. And gosh, Memphis is showing off there. There was a yoga class that was happening with probably 60 people on the grass. They do a, what is it called when you do running and biking and triathlon out there? I mean, who knew you could swim in Patriot Lake like that? And you can ride horses. I mean, it just feels happy to be there for a meal because it makes me celebrate our city.
Yeah,
It's
I
wonderful.
totally agree.
Yeah.
And the restaurant I picked for this is a little bit closer in, but it's Bog and Barley. And that's in Regalia. And it is the coolest space. It really does feel like you are traveling somewhere when you step in that space.
It does.
Because it's 2 stories. It's so huge. All of the entire bar, that it's all this really pretty high gloss wood was shipped in from Ireland. And they have a really well poured Guinness and then a really, really expansive whiskey collection, which is very cool. And recently they did an expansion that has a private whiskey tasting room. So it's really good for like private parties and things like that. And upstairs there's another bar, and on Fridays and Saturdays they do live music too downstairs, which is just a really festive environment, and it's always packed. Great place to watch football game, soccer game, basketball. It's been any season, honestly, it's great. But it's just such a good
What do you
spot.
like to eat there? Like, what do you get off the menu?
Honestly,
Different things?
I know, because sometimes Irish cuisine is not my favorite. Like, I'm not a huge, I don't know, corned beef and cabbage kind of girl. But they do have really good salads. They have this awesome Caesar salad that you can get, which, like, I feel like you wouldn't really expect there, because they do have a really good burger. They have these really good duck fat fries if you're in the mood
they're
for that.
amazing.
Yum.
I met Bob there recently,
Yes.
and he was there already and just ordered duck fat fries, and we shared them. They're
So good. And with
so
an ice
delicious.
cold beer, that's like about as
Yeah.
good as it gets.
You better go on a walk around Patriot
Right,
Lake after
right,
you-
right.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going.
I actually do have a favorite thing that I order there every time. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
smoked salmon on the brown bread.
Oh,
Yes.
It's really simple, but it is so tasty.
Yeah.
It really is kind of like lox on brown bread with some diced shallots. And
Oh, yeah.
it's
Good to
really
know.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But such a fun
Nice.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you've taken us all the way to another country practically, but true. It does transform you when you go in there. You feel like you have left the city for
Mhm.
sure. Well, I'm going to take us south. We're going to go on a little day trip down to Oxford, Mississippi. Now, we could eat our way all the way to Oxford, Mississippi at a few
Sure.
fun diners and dives, but we're just going to stay on course and go all the way to Oxford and maybe have a day in Oxford on the square. My favorite restaurant there is City Grocery. So that is John Currance's, was his first, and he since opened several there. That restaurant and John Currance are credited with basically introducing what is the modern dining scene in Oxford now. And fast forward, Chef Davis, he's in his 30s, Chef John Davis. He is the head chef there now. He worked under John Currance, and he's carrying it forward. It is still refined and southern and very relaxed, but you just can't go wrong there. In the evenings, they always have wonderful specials, a wonderful wine list, and it's just kind of like the whole experience. I feel like it's the genuine experience of Oxford, and you can walk around the square either before, after lunch, or dinner. And so we all went together and had a great time. I'm trying to remember for dinner, I think, we've had fun things like, quail was a special one night in the fall. But you can't go wrong with City Grocery. And so that's my favorite. We've all taken you to a few places that should feel like a find. You might have to go a little further to get there, but we think the places we've named today, those are the ones that we think you'll be glad you went the extra distance to get there. Till next time.